coming out of studio today.
In beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina.
He stands next to his world-famous producer, Jay York.
He is the top talk show host on the internet today.
Here is Dee Hall.
Initiate a Jay York production. Jay York production. Jay York production.
You are in the mix with Dee Hall and the People's Show.
Coming to us out of studio today in beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina. He stands next to his world-famous producer, Jay York. He is the number one, undisputed, top talk show host on the air today. The voice of the people show. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Dee Hall.
Jay York production, 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 production.
What's up? What's up, people? Good to see y'all. Thank y'all for coming on. How I sounded out there? Anybody let me know how I'm sounding. I hope I sound good today. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all coming on, man. Got a lot to talk about. Boxing world. You know what I'm saying? Lots going on in the boxing world. We got all my guests are special, but this one here's a little bit special. Got my man Clarence Mcclain of No Duck Zone. Hey, my man. First of all, let me give everybody a round of applause, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. Thank y'all for coming in today. Before we get started, as I normally do, this is an online talk show. This is the work of talk and discussion. I'm trying to get my mic right here. This is an online talk show that educate adult audiences. Parental advisory is advised. Some things may not be suitable for children. Lives are not edited for the kids. So if you would watch your kids, you know, we know we say some things sometimes. We reach out there. We may say a cuss word or two here and there. I know I do. I'm not perfect. It's part of life, you know. But that's the way it goes. We had a lot of stuff going on last night. I just want to, before we get my guy on, my man on, let's talk about some fights that was on last night. Denaza, the WBC interim junior middleweight belt. Sergio Bolachek versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. Wow. Now, I didn't see the fight. I didn't see that fight because I was looking at the other fight, but I heard that Ortiz won. So somebody said he got knocked down twice in that fight. So I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't look at it. I was looking at the IBF featherweight championship last night on ESPN Plus. Luis Lopez versus Angelo Leo. And man, it was dynamite. Yeah, it was dynamite. Great fight. Featherweights. I think it was 125 pounders. And that division is rich in fighters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's rich in fighters. And he won. He won last night. Angelo, he was the underdog. He fought there in New Mexico. He was the underdog. But he won though. What's up, James Horton, my man? What's happening, brother? Good to see you on. Thank you for stopping in. Just giving y'all a rundown a little bit. Also, before I get to my guest, one more thing. You know, Mayweather is fighting on the 24th August against John Gotti III in New Mexico. Is it Mexico? New Mexico? It's one of the two. I don't know. But he's fighting. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the broadcast. We'll talk about that later on in the broadcast. Y'all share the video. Share the video one time. It don't cost nothing to do it. So, you know, if you don't mind, share the video. Thank you so much. You may see me doing this, and I'm sharing the video myself. All right, let's get started. I don't want to hold my man up. we got a little bit to talk about. I didn't talk long enough. I didn't talk 5 minutes. So let's get my man in here. I know he's ready to go. It's been waiting for this day. Let's get with him. There he is. What's up, my man? What's happening, brother?
D Hall, what's good, my brother? What's up, man?
Everything is good, man. Everything is lovely, man. We're here on another Sunday with you and no zone duck zone. No, we get no duck zone podcast. I got my tongue twisted there, not like I normally do on certain things.
Yeah.
Hey, man, good to see you, man. Let me give you a welcome here from my people. Yeah.
Second time around. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. For the folks, shall I say, for the folks that don't know who you are, tell them who you are and where you're from.
Clarence Mcclain, from the Bronx, New York, owner of Mcclain's Promotion and No Duck Zone podcast.
Wow, man, that sums it all up, man. The Bronx. You said Bronx or the Brooklyn? Which one was it?
I lived in all boroughs, but I'm a Bronx kid.
Okay.
Bronx kid.
A lot of great fighters out of that New York area. All over there.
Yeah.
A lot of great stuff going on. Fighters come out of that way. But we're going to get into all of that here. I'm just sharing the video right now. But yeah, we're going to get into that. Hey, look, it's been a while since you've been on the program, Clarence. If you don't mind me calling you that.
No, I don't mind. That's my name.
All right, you're a podcaster, and you've been podcasting for a period of time now, as well as me. What are some of the ups and downs for you, man? You're doing the podcast, because I know I have quite a bit of them. What's some of yours?
Jesus Christ, there's so many ups and downs of it. The ups and downs is when it comes to figuring out what do you want to talk about when you're going live. When it comes to subscribers, it's gonna be ups and downs in that. You don't get subscribers as much as you want. You know what I mean? You get to a point where you feel like, I don't want to do it, or what's going on. You have to deal with criticism.
Yeah.
That's really, out of all of them, that's the number one thing that would discourage somebody. Criticism, in which criticism comes with it. Three things that I believe in, that in this world you got to deal with the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
And that seems to be in the content creator. About a year ago, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was gonna walk away from it just last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's sometimes it becomes too much. But you have to remember why it is that you're doing it. So I tell anybody who wants to be a content creator, all that 15 minutes of fame, if that's what you're doing it for, then you better go find something else to do. People like me and D Hall and other real content creators, we put our all into this. And but that's some of the things that comes with it, man. It's a difficult job. I think people think that it's easy because they say, all you guys got to do is just sit in front of the camera and just talk. And I'm like, well, it's easier said than done, because two things, right? You don't know what you're talking about. They're gonna eat your ass up alive.
That's true.
And two, what are we talking about?
Right. Exactly.
So, you know what I mean? You have to give it your all. And just anybody who just wants to be a content creator, I don't care who you are, where you're from, just make sure you know why you're doing this. What are you going to get out of it? Or you're going to benefit from it, and just make sure you stay true to it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the number one thing. What you just said. Yeah. Great answer. I noticed that and I noticed that you, because I listened to some of your podcasts on Instagram, YouTube. I noticed that you have a sponsor. Tell me a little bit about your sponsor there that you have now.
Shannon Brown, great brother who's originally from Ohio, and he moved to Virginia. I actually met him just like I met you here on Instagram.
Okay.
And I have a way of either bringing people together or building relationships. And after talking to him and just having him on my live, and we talking and we having conversations, he says, "Hey man, I want to sponsor the No Duck Zone," and I'm like, "Huh?"
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
before that, sponsors never crossed my mind.
Right.
I couldn't even tell you what a sponsor was. I'm gonna be real with you. I couldn't tell you what was the definition of a sponsor. But
Yeah. Yeah.
once he wanted to do that for me, that to me was overwhelming. And actually, he's responsible for this banner back here.
Mm-hmm.
He did this, and he sent it to me. And man, it was it was just amazing for me to have that, man. Because before that, I was struggling to try to get a banner, man.
Yeah.
You don't have the
Yeah.
money to do it. People don't understand. They think
Yeah.
because when they see you
Yeah.
on these social medias that, hey, you got money and you should be able to do this and do that. But if nobody's supporting you
Cool. Yeah.
financially like that, and and if you're not working like that, it's difficult. But yeah, my guy
Yeah.
Shannon Bone,
Right.
yeah, he's amazing brother, amazing brother. I haven't met him in person yet, but I'm hopefully for next year I'll get to meet him at some point.
That's great. That's great, man. Because I can recall, and when that when you didn't have one and you got one now, so that shows me that you have progressed. Shall I say?
Yes.
That shows me that you have progressed. James Horton says you got to let that fuel. Let me see. You got to let that fuel and you to go forward. To go forward, let nothing stop you from
Yeah.
dreams and your goals. That's what James Horton just said. That's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Got,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Great statement there, James. Look, I got to ask you this question here.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time where you felt you wasn't moving forward with no duck zone? Was there ever a time like that?
Yeah. I'll say last year.
Mm,
Really, I'll take it 2 years back.
okay.
I'll take about 2 years back. And somebody asked me this recently because they always ask what took you so long to get on YouTube, and people just think that you can just wake up and jump on YouTube, and
Yeah.
people don't understand that it's a process. I think I was stuck in the middle of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with No Duck Zone because I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with Mcclain's promotion. You see, because a
Right.
lot of people look at Mcclain's and go, "Well, how did Mcclain's promotion beat No Duck Zone?" Excuse me, how did No Duck Zone beat Mcclain's promotion on YouTube? And I go, I saw more value
Hmm.
in No Duck Zone.
No,
People
yeah.
tend to
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
tend to
Yeah.
grasp it quicker because of the name.
Right.
People just, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, about 2 years ago, I felt like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
The hell with this. I have to deal with too much, not just criticism, but you can't even have a decent conversation with a group of guys about boxing without everybody getting into their feelings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I did was well, I say for the last year or two, what I've been doing was making these conversations, mixing them up. Okay, we're not talking boxing today, gentlemen. We're going to talk about something else
Right.
that's going on in the world, whatever it is, just to take people's mind off boxing. But yeah, 2 years ago, I felt like that, man. I really did.
Yeah.
And sometimes now I have my moments, but I'm
Yeah.
more stronger because I go, you know what? There's No Duck Zone actually helps a few people. It makes people feel good about going on about their day. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm the guy that when you feel like today is going to be your last day, I'm the guy that's talking you off the edge. So I
Right.
realize no matter how many people might want to wish me away or see me unsuccessful, there are actually some people who enjoy seeing me. So those are the people I have to continue to do it for.
Yeah. Yeah. So that by you saying that, that just keeps the fuel to the fire for you to keep pressing forward with No Duck Zone, and you've done a great job with it for the last
Yes.
these couple of years that I've seen you. So and a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand what you have to do and to do what you're doing now, and you're still doing it. It's a work. It's a lot of thinking.
Yeah, it is. Like yesterday, I spent the whole day out. So I went to a boxers reunion. Shout out to Iceman John Scully.
Yeah.
So from yesterday, till last night, I was at 2 events and I am exhausted and didn't get home almost until the next day because of these events. So, I put a lot into this boxing and I make a lot of sacrifices. So, sometimes it can cost me, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's all worth it because I'm benefiting something from it. Like somebody said to me, how do you go live every morning? And you don't just go live in the morning, you go early in the morning. Like, bro, I'm not even ready to get out of bed yet by the time you go live. And I go, look, that's the best time to catch everybody because
Yeah.
suicide thoughts are not always at nighttime. It's always in the morning when somebody feels like today, this morning is going to be it. So sometimes I like to get up and catch those kind of people in the morning and go, hey, look, brother, hey, sister, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You know what I mean? We're going to laugh. We're going to joke. Whatever you're going through, let go and let God deal with it. And that's, that became my whole reason of going live in the morning. It wasn't just, let me beat every other podcaster before they get up. It wasn't about that, default, because you see me. I can go live morning, noon, or night. I can go live at 12 midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning. And there's always going to be somebody up that goes, he's up 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, let's see what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I put my all into it, man. And long as the man upstairs continues to bless me with doing this, I have a job to do, and I'm just not going to stop doing it because some people feel like, what is he doing it for? We don't like his content, but whatever. Those are the people that motivate me to continue to do it too. The ones who don't want to see me do it.
Yeah, dig that. Yeah, that's good. All right. Awesome. Awesome, man. Because it's a lot. It's like I said, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of things that you're doing with that, and we're going to get in a little bit further with that because I see you quite a bit. We'll touch on that here just momentarily, but just about the amateurs and stuff like that. But actually, you've been doing it how long
now? Let's see, we're going, 4 years now? 3.5? About 3.5, 4 years now.
Okay, about 3.5, 4 years. Why haven't you? And this is a question from me to you. You never took it and brought it onto Facebook, have you? Is there any reason why? Why is that?
Well, I had the Facebook group, and I felt like the Facebook group was necessary because it also was a chance that I can keep the craziness down if I just put it out there on Facebook. Then you don't want everybody to be a part of what it is that you're doing. So when I came up with the Facebook, I could have easily went live like you see me doing Instagram. I could have did it on regular Facebook, but I said, you know what? It causes too much chaos and people are not going to understand. It's more better if you can get the people in the group that can relate to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that don't understand. So, but with Instagram, see, with me, it was, and that was another thing. It was good for me on that side because I was able to meet you, my sponsor, and a lot of people. But that was the reason why I decided not to go on regular Facebook and just say, you know what, come up with a Facebook group and hopefully everybody will enjoy it.
Yeah, and you do. You have a Facebook group, and I post in there sometime, and fairly, here lately I have, and I've seen the group. Very nice group. I like that. You got some people in that group.
But D-Hall, ain't it a nice group? You don't never hear anybody. If you go to a lot of these Facebook groups, they're racist. They'll curse you out. They'll call you every racist name. You see how my group is cool, calm, and collected. And people go, you only got 217 people. I said it could stay like that because my people are very respectful. Nobody ever goes out their way. Nobody's ever going to curse you out. And it's probably one of the most comfortable Facebook groups you can be a part of.
Yeah, it's a very nice group, and very nice group. Yep. Here we go. I just got another guest popping in, and remember, y'all can call in 919-410-8736 if you want to talk to my man Clarence Mcclain of No Duck Zone Podcast. There we go. Michael Williams Sr.'s in the house. What's up, my man? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for coming in. I can see him over here on the other screen. I can just you can't see him right now. Michael Williams Sr. my man. Look, Mike, guess what, man? You're gonna come on the show next month, right? I got you, brother. I got you.
Hey, I love that. Let me tell you something. I love that brother. I love his son. That's the best son and father duo I have seen. Great brothers. Great brothers.
Look, see, he beats out Bill Haney and Devin Haney, don't he?
I would have to say, yeah, pretty much.
All right, here we go. Look, I just talked about it. And I'm going to say this to you, man. I see you a lot. You're very vocal on the amateurs. You're more vocal on the amateurs than you are the pros. Can you give me your thoughts on why you're that way? Because that's what I see you doing a lot of, dealing with the amateur kids.
When I first started out, I think it wasn't even about amateurs. I think it was just about boxing. Because I think in the beginning, anything that was connected to boxing, rather if you were amateur or pro, it didn't matter to me. I don't think the amateurs really started for me until the end of COVID. I'd probably say the end of 2020, coming into 2021, when I really started hitting these gyms.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, No Doug Zone didn't start until 2021. Right. And in New York, they weren't having any fights. Everybody else was having fights except for New York. We didn't have our first one until July of 2021. And when I started going to these shows, for me, D Hall, it made sense. For some reason, it just felt so right, because I said, wait a minute, this is damn near like watching college basketball. If you watch these dudes in college basketball, by the time they get to the NBA draft, you're like, man, I know him, man. I know him. I've been watching this dude. Watch him. He good. Same thing with football. Watch this dude. He's the greatest linebacker. I'm telling you, watch him. And people be like, yeah, I hear you, but I'd rather watch somebody I'm familiar with. It was the same thing with amateurs. It's like college.
Yeah.
And when I started to, to do that, I didn't realize really what I was doing. And even though there was another brother of mine, shout out to my brother Bohemian, who was doing it, but the way I was doing it was a little different from how he was doing it, because he would interview you at a fight. Mm-hmm. I was doing it from my home, and I'm sitting on a live 3 hours, and people are like, "This is crazy. Are you talking to fighters for 3 hours? This is
you was at home. You was at home doing this. Okay, I got you.
I was at home doing this, and people couldn't figure that out. They were like, "Wait a minute, bro." They would get off, and I went to sleep and wake up. You still on talking to these dudes? Who are these kids? And when I did it, it kind of opened the doors, because not only people in New York were seeing it, other people in other states were seeing it. And I was, doing chop ups at people. I decided to do that because I'm like, okay, I'm tired of every time when these amateurs get to be pros, everybody wants to act like they know who they are. Mm-hmm. As soon as you hear they get signed to Matchroom or Top Rank or any of these top promotions, all of a sudden now, I followed you. I looked at a couple of your videos. That's a bunch of BS. You had to look at a couple of my videos to figure out who I was. Now you want to jump on the bandwagon and act like you know who they are, versus me, who's actually going to these fights, who actually have a relationship with the fighters, the coach, and the family. Mm-hmm. Hey, D Hall, I get to go to the fight and joke around with their families.
Yeah.
We get to embrace each other and hug each other when we see them. And I always have a mother, thank you for being here for my son. Even though we were here, thank you. So when I get that, it's a beautiful thing, man. And even some of the amateurs I know that's going pro now, still thank me still to this day and go, bro, I'm not gonna ever forget you because I'm going pro. You know what I mean? So now I get to sit and wait for the next class of kids to come up to go pro. And it's just a beautiful thing. And this is why I said, you know what? I'd rather stay in the amateurs for the rest of my life than to go to pros. It's a little more simple.
Yeah, dig it. I want to say hello to some people that's coming in. Michael Williams says, shout out to you, Clarence. I just wanted to get that in. Mike says, shout you out. Wanda John.
Hey, Michael, I'm coming to North Carolina. You can't avoid me. I'm coming to North Carolina. Make some room in your living room.
He's coming, Mike. Wanda Johnson, I want to say hello. Thank you for stopping by the podcast today. I'm here with my man Clarence Mcclain, a No Duck Zone podcast, doing his thing as always. I check him out from time to time, and sometimes I can't stay long because I have other things to do. But I slide in every now and then and check him out.
I stay on too long for you.
Well, I just slide in and slide the hell out, man. You dig what I'm saying? But it's a good show. Good show. A lot of talk.
Yeah, thank you.
And I notice now you're starting to bring on more guests. What made you to start doing that?
Bringing brothers together, networking. You know, the
Yeah.
biggest thing in this world that we don't see enough is brothers. Now, me, I'm no racist because I love all men. Because let me tell you something, we all are God's children.
Yeah.
But I like to see more of the brothers come together. Like I said, even with Michael Williams, when I met him, that was on social media. I met
Right.
him through a podcast. When I met you, it was just on social media. Everybody that I have met is through social media. So when I bring everybody together, it's not just for boxing.
Right.
It's to go, you know what? We can show the world that we could come together as black men too, okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not be ignorant. Even though there's a few brothers out there that come together and do that, they get ignorant, they curse, they argue. Not on my show. And I always tell people, if you don't keep it respectful, you'll never come back up here again.
Right.
And
That's right.
we have
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
watching. We have people watching this. You never know who is watching you. And that's all I am. I just like to bring brothers together, network,
Yeah.
chop it up.
Yeah.
So we keep it respectful. That way the next day we can come back up here and do it again versus you saying, D-Ho, I don't want to come back up there because it just be too much going on in your show. So that's the reason why I
Yeah.
really started doing that.
Dig it, man, and that's good because I like what I see from that, and you're constantly progressing further and further into the show.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about. We're going to talk a little bit about boxing now, and all that. We just saw Crawford big win at the 154 pounds for the belt, beat Majarov. What do you think at 154 pounds? Should he stay in that division? Or should he move up and try to get?
I think he should stay at that. I think he should stay in that division. I just think he would have. I wish he would have went a little sooner, because you got to remember we're talking about a Crawford that's almost 40. He's what, 36, 37. I wish I would have seen him go sooner. How would he do at 54? I mean, you got to remember it's different. He's 7 pounds heavier. The guys up there are, their height, they're a little taller. Some of them.
Yeah.
I would love to see him and Virgil Ortiz get it on. Some people say him and Boots, and I'm go, well, we can't keep dragging that fight because we don't know if that'll happen. I think that the Virgil Ortiz and Crawford is more realistic to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say it's the better fight, but it's more realistic to happen. I would love to see it, but I'm not in no position to say what a man can and can't do because I don't train. I'm just around fighters, and I think that's the misconception with a lot of these dudes that think because they know boxing, you're not in no position to say what a man can and can't do. You know, these guys have been boxing since they were 5 years old, 10 years old, and they've been doing this their whole life. So even though I'm a content creator, I have no right to say what a man can and can't do because I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting no money out of what he's doing. So whatever that man does is what he got to do. But I think at 54, Crawford to do. He'll do great, and I sure want to see him and Virgil get it on. And if not Virgil, you got Eric Salubin, Brian Mendoza, Brian Castano. One of those guys. And whatever decision that he makes, I wish him all the luck in the world.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on a little further. 135-pound division is where his Tank is at. That's where Lomachenko, William Zepeda, Shakur Stevenson, and what you think is next for Tank, in your opinion?
Oh man, that's a hard one because I think, in my opinion, we have no choice but to make Tank and Stevenson. We have no choice.
Mm-hmm.
The walls are closing in for a lot of these guys. So a lot of whoever you think you're going to avoid, especially with you got Turkey involved now. So he's putting on all these fights. There's no running now. Whatever amount of money that you're looking for, this guy is willing to give you. So what's the excuse?
Right.
You can't hide.
Yeah.
There's no avoiding it now. So I think Tank and Shakur should be next, but now they're talking about Stevenson and William Zepeda. So if we get that, I'm fine with it. But people are still going to crave for Tank and Stevenson. The fans talk about it every day from Monday to Friday. So it's something that's necessary. You know what I mean? What bothers me, D Hall, is this: is that what's the problem? Why not make it? Let's do it.
Yeah.
What are we waiting for? Because I think eventually Tank is going to be on his way out.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and I'm not saying that Tank doesn't have anything left in him. But if Tank wanted to, if he woke up this morning and said, "Today I don't want to do it no more," who's going to be mad at him? Might be a few people mad at him because they're going to say, "Yo, we never got to see him in Devin. We never got to see him in Shakur. He cheated us." But yeah, guess what? If that man woke up and said, "Today is over," he would have every right. He accomplished a lot. So he's more than welcome to do that. But we do need him and Stevenson. Let's hope in 2025 that can happen.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. You know, I look at some fights and just then we're going to move on a little further. I look at Mayweather. He never fought Amir Khan. And of course, he didn't fight Antonio Margarita. And a Margarita, you know, those, you know, he didn't fight him because I think he was got drugged up or had some drugs or something like that. And so there was a couple of fights that Mayweather didn't fight, and he never fought Amir Khan. So, you know, it's the same thing with what you just said. Wow, let's talk about some fights that's coming up. We got Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga for the WBC, WBA, and WBA Super Middleweight Championship. What's your thoughts on that fight?
You know, I just was at the press conference with them. You know, I heard about this fight a couple months ago, I think around the time when he fought Jamie. And they were saying after Jamie is going to be Edgar next. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, they're not going to do that. Because a lot of people I ask, what did he do to deserve that? What did he do to deserve? What did Edgar do to deserve it? Well, what did a lot of people do to deserve a Canelo fight?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who shouldn't have been in that place to get that, but they got it. I think at some point, every man deserves to get their shot at the title, whether you think that they deserve it or not. This is boxing.
Yeah.
So we're not in no position that, I mean, for you to say a man doesn't deserve a shot is basically saying, I don't want to see that man feed his family. And, you know, we can't do that. And everybody thinks because they can predict what's going to happen to him September 14th, that makes it right. So that means he doesn't deserve a shot because we know what's going to happen to him September 14th. Well, if that's the case, then boxing wouldn't exist. We all will win money. Yeah. We all will win money in boxing by just making predictions. We wouldn't even have to bet. Just make a prediction. He's going to get knocked out in 8 rounds, and we all will be living rich. I would go listen, I will predict that right now, and I'll be a millionaire. But it don't work like that. So despite of what happened September 14th, that man deserves to get a shot just like everybody else.
Who you think's going to win the fight?
Oh, D-Hall, you really going to set me up right now? Oh, Lord Jesus.
It's a question, man. We got to know the answer, man.
Jesus Christ, D-Hall.
Matter of fact,
this is the part I hate because, to be honest with you, I think Edgar's going to give it his all, but at some point, the fight is going to get stopped. Now, I'm giving Edgar all the credit. Now, unless he can go in there and do something that shocks the world, which this is boxing and anything that can happen, but nobody wants to give him that credit because he doesn't have no boxing ability. He's not skilled enough. Canelo's more experienced. Well, not trying to make a comparisons, but I believe Bivol wasn't that experienced compared to Canelo. He had 19 fights, and I'm not trying to compare him and Edgar together, but he didn't. And you saw what he did.
Yeah,
I don't think too many people saw Bivol beating Canelo. There's a small portion. There's a lot of people who try to say they saw it, but they're lying. So, but I kind of see it happening that way. I hope I'm not wrong about it because Edgar is from my city, but I can't just go for him because he's from New York because then I would be being biased. But I hope he comes with a smart game plan because Canelo definitely, we know he does come to fight. So, you know, we just got to see what happens September 14th. It's going to be, it's a great card. You know, you got him on there. You got Danny Garcia versus Laura. You got Cool Boy. You got Cool Boy making his return. You got Rolly Romero making his return.
Yeah,
So listen, boxing's back. We have no reason to complain. Let's enjoy it.
Let's go across the pond for a little bit. Let's go across the pond. And here we go. What's your thoughts on that? And who's going to win?
AJ and you said AJ and Daniel Dubois?
Dubois, yeah.
Jesus Christ. You know what, D-Hall? I'm impressed with Daniel Dubois. I'm impressed with him because the kid can fight.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I felt like he beat Usyk.
Okay.
Felt like he beat Usyk. And then we watched him stop Big Baby Miller, which that was jaw-dropping.
Yeah. That was a shocker to me, yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't.
And then, for AJ's last, 2 fights? AJ's been pretty all right.
Yeah.
But I think they did that on purpose just to make it look like he's back.
Yeah.
I think this is a bit. Yeah, we know how this goes. We're gonna make it look like he's back, like he's been eating his Cocoa Puffs. He's back. Yeah. I think for both of them, for both guys, it's a big test.
Yes, it is.
AJ's no pushover, no matter what people think about him. And Daniel Dubois he's definitely no pushover. But that AJ, man, that reach is crazy.
Yeah,
if Daniel Dubois can figure out a way to get in that, to get under that long reach, I think he'll be victorious September 21st. I'm gonna watch it, so I don't know about the rest of the world, but I'm definitely gonna tune into that.
Great. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out too. We know who's supposed to win, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work out like that always.
Yeah,
just ask my man Angelo Leo last night as he won the IBF World Championship last night. He was the underdog last night on the ESPN Plus. He left hook.
I missed all the fights.
Knockout of the year, brother. That was a knockout.
I saw the highlight of it, and I said, "Oh my God, he slept him."
Oh man, he shot. Oh, he came right with that left hook and dropped him. But
ain't that the great thing about boxing, that you think you know what's gonna happen and you don't know, and that's the great thing about it. It's the great thing about it.
You're right. That is the unexpected, and that's what boxing is. Here we go.
Yeah.
Arthur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. Great matchup for the undisputed light heavyweight title. Undisputed now. You get them all. You get all the marbles. What's your thoughts on it?
Listen, any guy who does push-ups on his knuckles is not a guy I want a problem with. Any guy who does push-ups on his knuckles, I don't want a problem with. I have to, for some reason, I'm sorry, I gotta go with Beterbiev. That dude was, when he fought Joe Smith. Now, I was being biased because I'm like, Joe's from New York, Long Island, and I'm like, man, yeah, Team Joe over here. Joe, go get him.
Sure, you're supposed to be. Yeah, that's right.
But he made Joe look like a Joe.
Yeah.
And, everybody in the garden, we're shocked. We got this look of disbelief on our face, like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And I don't even think Joe knew what happened because everything happened so fast. But Beterbiev, and too, he's at that age too, so eventually it's going to be over for him too. Because I think he's probably about close to my age, 39, 40 years old.
Yeah, he's over that 30. He's around about 38, 40, somewhere around. He's over that 35. He's over 35.
You know what? And I don't want to make no predictions, but he might want to sit down because I know, from what I know, Benavidez might be in line for the winner of either one of them. And right now, David is young, and that wouldn't be a good way to go out in boxing by having to fight him.
David Benavidez. Exactly. Yeah. I agree with that. Here we go. Last one. Ola Anik Usyk, Part 2, Tyson Fury in December. Who you got?
I'm never crazy about Fury. And I believe he was winning. I believe he was winning that fight until he started goofing off.
Yeah, he was.
The guy goofs off too much.
Yeah.
And that kind of pisses me off in boxing when I see guys not finish their food.
Yeah.
You play with your food, and look what happens. You were winning the fight. You had him. You goofed off, and then you got caught. Why I don't respect Tyson is not so much just because of the stuff with him and Wilder. It's because of what he said at the end, right? They only gave it to him because his country's at war.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's right.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, why are we living in an era where these grown men can't take their losses and just deal with it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. But the rematch, I still would probably have to give it. I don't know, because guys, when they get their first loss, they tend to come back different. Some
Right.
come back focused, and some are hoping, man, I gotta fight a smart fighter. I don't want to get this second loss on my resume. But I probably would have to give it to Fury on this one, unless Usyk can do something much different than what he did, because he was losing the first fight.
Sure. Yes, he was.
So
He was.
unless he comes back and does something different, I'm sorry. I have to, rather if I like Fury or not, boxing ability, I gotta respect it. I gotta go with Fury in the rematch.
Yeah. I can dig it. Yeah. Great answer. It's we're winding it down now. Clarence, we're winding it down now. Anything that you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Oh man, I don't know. Well, I have I got my meet and greet coming up this week.
Oh, yeah.
No Doug Zone meet and greet coming up. This is the second year for me. Never even thought I would be doing this. When I started doing it for the people, for the supporters, for everybody who support me, and hopefully next year, D Hall, I'll get you up here. We're gonna work on getting you up here. You, Michael Williams, I'm gonna get y'all all up here next year. We're gonna have us a dope time. What I want to say to people is, if you have any thoughts, or you've been thinking about just doing content, creating, or whatever your mind tells you to do, follow it. Because if not, you'll pay for it later on, and you're gonna wish you did it. So, even for the kids, if you got something out there that you want to do, man, don't let it go past you. Go ahead and do it. But if you're going to do it, just don't do it because you want to do it. You know what I mean? This is your passion. It's everything to you. You have to go all the way with it, or don't do it at all, man. So that's basically what I want to say to the people, man. Stay true to what you do.
Yeah, dig it. How can they follow you? So they may want to check you out, check your show out, check your podcast out, and check your group out also, because you are all over the place, I will say.
Yeah. I need to find somewhere to stay, because I'm doing too much moving around. No, you can find me on Instagram, Mcclain Clarence, Facebook, Mcclain Clarence, and check Mcclain's promotion and check No Doug Zone podcast on YouTube. And I'm working on a new show that I got coming.
Outstanding.
So,
all right.
I got a new one coming. I can't speak about it. I'll speak about it after the meet and greet, but I got a new show that I'm gonna be working on. I'm just hoping I can squeeze it into everything else that I'm doing. But we'll speak more about it the next time you catch me.
Yeah, no doubt. Any questions for me?
Let me see. So I asked you a few questions the last time. Oh, well, how do you enjoy doing what you're doing? How do you enjoy content? Yeah, how do you enjoy that?
I pretty much love it. As I said, we talked about it earlier in the conversation. There are ups and downs in it. You deal with different people and their attitudes, their backgrounds. But overall, I enjoy what I do because I meet some entertaining people, and I like that. And I like bringing my guests back on. I like talking to people. And so, I want everybody to understand that, sometimes the road do look, there's a lot of things that people don't see behind the scenes, because the road do get a little rocky for me and Jay. But, we work it out, and that's what it's all about. But I enjoy it. Overall, I can't complain about it. Love what I do. Love talking to people, getting the people to come on the People Show, just like you, my man. And hopefully I'll get you on sometime again soon.
Oh, well, hopefully we're definitely going to do this again. And I'm definitely looking forward to coming to NC. Because I have family out there anyway, and I already told you behind the scenes what I wanted to do out there. So
Right.
I got to
correct.
get with you and Jay York. Shout out to Jay York too, man. That's a bad man. That's a bad man. Let me tell you something. If y'all if y'all ain't got him as a Facebook friend, I don't know what you're doing. Y'all need to holler at Jay York. That's a bad dude, man.
Let's give Jay a round of applause. Jay York Production.
Hey man, that man is like the baby face of what he do. That's a bad man.
Babyface Jay.
Babyface Jay, man. That's a bad dude. And I appreciate him, and I appreciate D-Hall and the People Show. Listen, smash that like button, like, share, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. On Sundays, 4 p.m., I wouldn't care if he had Jesus up here. Y'all need to be watching my man on Sundays. If you're not, you're a hater. I don't know what you're doing.
I like that, brother. Here we go. Last one right here, my man. What does the D-Hall People Show and Jay York Productions mean to you?
D-Hall and the People Show, Jay York Productions. Well, you represent bringing people together, having great content. You guys represent the struggle, because I could tell behind everything that you do, there was some struggle before y'all got to where y'all were. Now, I might not know both of y'all past, but I could tell there was some struggle. But with God, everything is possible, and He obviously got y'all past that.
Amen.
And put you guys together. So that's what it means to me. Great networking. Great sharing. If anybody needs advice, you guys are not going to hesitate to give it to them if you know the answer, if you could help. So that's what the D-Hall People Show means to me, and you guys will be family for life. You know what I mean? There's never going to be no change in that. So that's basically what D-Hall and the People Show mean to me.
All right, brother. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on the program, man. My man, Clarence Mcclain. No Duck Zone, man. This is outstanding. Man, look, we'll catch you next time, man. Thank you for all your thoughts and whatever else you said today, brother. It was great. Look, man, we'll see you next time, brother.
Thank you, D.O. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, brother. That's my man, I get me tongue-tied there. That's my man, Clarence Mcclain, No Duck Zone podcast. Great guy, man. Go check him out, man. He's got to be on Instagram. He's on YouTube. He's all over the place. Great guy, man. We appreciate him coming on. We'll see y'all Thursday, man. We'll be back Thursday with my man, Mr. Breeze, Mr. Do Too Much, Southern Soul, man. Bring the artists back over here. We're gonna get down like that, man. I thank y'all for watching the program. It's been a great show today. So look, we'll see you Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you be there. We'll see you.
Coming out of studio today.
In beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina.
He stands next to his world-famous producer, Jay York.
He is the top talk show host on the internet today.
Here is D. Hall.
Initiate a Jay York production. Jay York production. Jay York production.